what? You've just said something. I never knew you were there. Come on now, you've got me singing. Don't really like singing on camera, but then that's totally fine. Okay. Okay, so yes, let's dive right into what we have today. English language is the second most spoken language in the world, and it's an official language in about 53 countries, right? So like many languages in the world, English has many varieties, but then the two best known varieties are the British English pronunciation and the American English. So today we're going to be looking at the British English and the American English, and we're going to be looking at the differences between both of them. But then we're going to be, now the differences between both of them is quite large. I can't really cover everything in one video, so I'm guessing I would have to cut this video into parts, maybe 4 parts, maybe. But then today we're going to be looking at the differences in vocabulary between the two varieties of English. Yes. My name is Ruth and I am a British English pronunciation teacher. So this means that I teach British English pronunciation to my students from all over the world. If you'd like to call me up for a lesson, or you like to take my course because I have a pronunciation class, make sure you drop a comment in the comments box and I'll attend to you as soon as I see it. So let's dive right into it. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. It doesn't cost you anything, does it now? Just click the notification bell to get updates of videos I'm going to be posting from now to the future, to be on the safe side so that you don't miss anything, because I love you, I really do. Okay, so let's begin. Now, the most common difference between British English and American English is that British English is non-rhotic, at least for received pronunciation, because I know some accents in the UK are rhotic, while at least RP is not. But then accents from Northern Ireland and Scots and maybe Wales are rhotic. But then on the other hand, American English is always rhotic. Let me explain what I mean by rhotic. Now, when you hear American speakers speak, for example, let's use the word water. So you notice the R at the end of the word is pronounced for American speakers, while for British speakers, especially those who are RP speakers, they do not pronounce the R at the end of the word. So an American person will say, someone from the US will say water, water, father, sister, brother. Very difficult to say brother, while someone from the UK will just say brother, will say war, will say water, will say sister. You know, just how it is. Now, while this is a very, very important distinction between the two varieties of English, that's not what we're going to be looking at today. Today we're going to be looking at vocabulary differences. This means that in British English and American English, there are words that mean different. The words are different but mean the same thing. Let me say that again. There are words that mean the same thing, but they're different. For example, when you say biscuits for those in the UK, for Brits and those in Britain, you mean biscuits, like biscuits. I think I'm more used to the the British way of describing biscuits, like the snacks you buy. Biscuits. I'm going to put a picture. Biscuits. Why? For those in the UK, they call it cookies or crackers. Now, for those in the UK, cookies are a special kind of biscuits. I know what cookies are, maybe because I'm more used from the British side. But then when you say biscuits, what comes to mind of someone from the UK is like something you buy, very slim, biscuits that you eat, while those from the US would mean, when you say biscuit, they're like, what's biscuits? This is a cracker, this is a cookie. Now, why I'm doing this video, the relevance of this video is you might travel out. You're in Britain, you might travel out to the US. You're in the US, you might travel out to Britain. And you go to a mall, to buy something, and you're like, can I have cookies? And they give you cookies, like what do you understand? And you're like, no, not this cookies, like biscuit cookies. It's like, can really get frustrating. So just go and say biscuits instead of saying cookies, and you give them cookies and you do not like it. And you just go home angry, like everybody's pissed off. Okay, so let me just leave that. So that's what it is. So the next one is chips. Chips are like things you like fry. Chips like plantain chips, salt chips. But then Americans call it French fries. French fries. So that's a difference. So if you're someone from the UK going to America and you want to buy chips, you have to say French fries. If you're someone going to the UK from the US, you have to say chips. So the next difference is crisps. Crisps. Now crisps for the UK, for those in the UK, are potato chips for those in the US. Crazy. I know, don't tell me about it. So you have crisps and you have potato chips. So another difference in vocabulary, though they mean the same thing, they have the same idea in mind, is pants. For those in the UK, you wear pants. What's a pant? Pants is something you wear under your clothes, or But then Americans will call it underpants. So still the same thing. But then one says pants, one says underpants. So if you're someone from the UK, you're from Birmingham, and you go to someone in the US and you say, I want to buy pants, they're like, I don't understand what you say. I can't really do the American accent, really. I don't know, what do you mean by pants? I'm trying to make fun of the American accent. It's just as beautiful. Like, what do you mean by pants? Like, what is that? Okay, so what they actually mean is pants, and what you actually mean from your US citizen or someone from the US, you mean pant, you mean underpants. Okay, so let's go on. So for those in the UK, we call something you wear over your shirt, we call it a waistcoat. Some loosely you call it a jacket, so it's a waistcoat. While those who are not from the UK, especially Americans, will say vest. But when I say vest, what comes to mind is something you wear, like your inner vest. So this is really sometimes crazy. So your inner vest, your vest is my waistcoat. Let's just go home now. Okay, so the next one is high street. Now for those in the UK, high street means like the major road, like your street. But then for those in the US, your high street is your main street. So we substitute the high for the street and the street for the high, so everybody just goes home. So we have high street for those in the UK, the major road of, maybe major road, and then for those in the US, you say the main street. Another difference is when we say motorway for those in the UK, for those in the US, what you actually would say is turnpike. I can't really say it in an American accent. You say something like turnpike, really difficult for me to say right now. So you say turnpike. Pike is still sounding British, I can't really help it. So turnpike or something. But then for those in the UK, you said motorway. So the next difference is the roundabout. The roundabout is like something on the road, like a circle where cars, like when you meet like a diversion where this car goes here and all that, like this. So you have something in the middle, is called a roundabout. So for those in the UK, you call it a traffic circle. A traffic cycle, not a circle, sorry, traffic cycle. Yes, that's what it is. I can't really help you now, can I? So it's called a traffic cycle. Now the next one is anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise refers to the movement of the hand of the clock. So the term, we call it anti-clockwise, while those from the US will say counterclockwise. So when the hand of the clock is going anti-clockwise, you say it's going counterclockwise. Now, I must appreciate both varieties of English. I teach British English pronunciation. I think that's why I'm maybe a little bit biased. But I really do appreciate American speakers. I have nothing against them. So they're totally good to go. Okay, now the next one is chemist's shop, where you buy drugs. So the Brits call it a chemist's shop, while the Americans will call it a drugstore or a pharmacy. Both are totally fine for me. But then if you're teaching British English, just do it the British way. So the next one is flyover. Flyover. Flyover is now, we have a lot of busy roads in many big cities. So a flyover is something that you as a pedestrian will have to pass over to, you know, to avoid being hit by a car or a vehicle coming your way. So that's a flyover, just goes over the road. But Americans will call it an overpass. That's totally fine. But then this video is for those who travel a lot, so that you don't go there and just, where's the flyover over here? What's a flyover, man? Like, I don't even understand you. Do you mean an overpass? Right, so that's just it. So the next one is holiday. Holiday is a period of time where you're given a break from work, from school, to just, you know, something like your leisure time where you just relax with your family and just have a good time. That's a holiday. No school, no work. That's a holiday. While Brits will say holiday, Americans will say vacation. Both are totally fine, but they all mean holiday, vacation both mean the time when you're free, you're not going to work, no school, you just have all the free time in the world for that period of time. So that's what it means. Now, the next one is quite common. Now, when you go to maybe a big complex or a company and you don't want to use the stairs, what do you use? You use a lift or an elevator. So Brits will say a lift, Americans will say an elevator. So both are just fine. But then when you go to the US, you can say lift. Maybe they think you want to lift something up. And when you go to the US, when you go to the UK and you say an elevator, like, what does that mean, man? I don't understand you. So it's not the fault, it's differences in the varieties of English are both beautiful. So the next one is motorbike and motorcycle. You know what a motorbike is? I know you do. So Brits will call it a motorbike, while Americans will call it a motorcycle. Maybe someone will call it I'll say a machine. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so the next one is for babies. Now, when your baby's pooing, what you wear for him is a nappy. But Americans will call it a diaper. Totally fine. But then Brits will say a nappy, while Americans will say a diaper. Can I get a nappy? How much is a nappy? £5.50. Okay, the next one is petrol and gasoline. So, you know what that means. You go to a fuel station to buy petrol, or you go to a fuel station to buy gasoline. Both mean the same thing. You fuel your cars and go home. But then both mean the same thing, but different choices of vocabulary, but they mean the same thing. So next one is pocket money. Now, as a child growing up in a British home, you're supposed to have a little pocket money, aren't you, mates? you might not have, I think, depending on your family and how it's run. But my family, I had pocket money. So for those in Britain, you call it pocket money. For those in the US, you say allowance. Can I get my monthly allowance now, mum? So your monthly allowance, while for those in the UK, you say your pocket money. Okay, now for those in school also, there is a little rubber. Saying rubber already. There's something you use, a material, that's why it's in colour, to clean up, you know, mistakes that you make on your book. So what is it called? For Americans, you'll say an eraser. Drawing here. So Americans, you say eraser, an eraser, while the Brits will say a rubber. Have you got a rubber there, mate? Mom, I want an eraser. Okay, I'm trying. I feel I'm trying. Okay, now the next one is the front of a car has a glass called what? A windscreen or a windshield? Which one is which? Windscreen, Britain, windshield, American, both mean the same thing. Seriously. So, when next you see it, don't say. Now, one of the things I would also say, one of the rules I observed while I was still in school is when you're writing, I think you should sort of stick to one variety. For example, you can't really say, I went on holiday and I used an elevator. So your holiday Britain, elevator UK, the US, right? So you should say, I went on holiday and I used the lift, or I went on vacation, I used that elevator. So you should use same varieties of English, even on spelling and all that. So Let's just go on. And then the next one is zip and zipper. You know what a zip is? On your clothes, on your school bags, just helps to cover it and protect your belongings. So Americans will say zipper, 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 while Brits will say zip, zip, zip the bag, zip it, zip. And then the next one is maize and corn. Maize, let me correct this, maize and corn. Like, corn. I'm trying to be erotic here. Give me some applause. Remind me, I'm kidding. Okay, so Americans will say corn, while Brits will say maize. But they mean the same thing. Maize is a food. Planted and you eat it. Very hard. Okay. And then the next one and the last one and the next one. Is it the last one now? Maybe, maybe not. Just keep watching. So the next one is the queue and the line. So what is a queue? A queue is a line of people lining up. Pretty hilarious. Okay, a queue is, as I said, people line up a lot in the UK. That's a culture that's found among those in the UK. So they queue up and wait for a lot of things, even things you can use your phone and do. You just queue up for them. But then let's go on. So what the Americans will call a line. To line up, Brits will say queue up. So I do not feel like this video should end, but I think it should end long enough. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah!